All right. Hey guys, it's Eric and
Roy.
Hey, we're back. This is a new concept that we're trying, which is kind of like a, we don't know what to call it, so this is going to be an addition to the Hatchet Cast series. We're not going to take away shop talks. We're not taking away Hatchet Cast episodes. It's not going to replace that. It's just something else that we wanted to add to the content on the channel.
I mean, there's so many times, guys, where we're out here on the range and we have such great conversations with each other. So we want to kind of have you out here with us.
Yeah.
So.
You guys are awesome. Our subscribers are amazing. So you guys leave amazing comments and amazing information. So you can probably come up with an amazing title for what this should be called. So leave a comment below and we'll pick what it should be called.
Yeah. If you guys like this, let us know too.
Yeah, let us know.
Like the format.
Yeah. So real quick, we got some rifles out here. We're gonna do a quick breakdown on what rifle we're using. So for me, I'll start off. I've got it's from the GPR video. It's the American Defense UIC Patrol 14.5 inch gun. I've got a Surgicon 2-10. You guys are pretty familiar with this if you watch our episodes. Surefire can, PEC, Cloud Defensive Range 2.0, primary arms dot on top, and also a backup red dot. I'm trying to use this to replace the backup iron sights. Just seeing if it works, just kind of playing around.
Messing around with some setups.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What do you got?
I got a rifle here that is a 12.5 that I had the barrel chopped down. It actually was a 16-inch barrel. Chopped it down to 12.5 with a mid-length gas system. Opened up the gas port on it a little bit. Running the primary arms 1-8 Platinum series. This is the one with the Griffin mill reticle. Later on in some episodes, me and Eric definitely plan on breaking into what we prefer as far as either mill or BDCs. Yeah. So that's going to be something that we're going to talk about later in the future. So playing around right now with this as far as mill reticle, really enjoying it. I do have an offset red dot on here. Got a Surgicon RMR. This is the 1 MOA that is on an Arisaka mount. What else we got here? We got a Wiseman Company Hot Pocket.
Yep.
Surefire Mini. This is Gen 2 Mini.
Sweet little can.
Wiseman Company sling. So we talk about it all the time, guys. Go support them. And then I have a Reptilia Corp light body, and I can't remember what head this is. So.
The kind that makes the light come out.
There's light that comes out the end of it. So that's what I have on there, guys.
So what are we talking about today?
We're gonna do some positional shooting. Me and Eric have been working on this quite a bit lately.
Yeah.
We've spent a lot of time through our GPR video working positions from all kinds of stuff. Working here on the range itself off of different props. Prone, using bags. You guys have asked about these bags before in the past, what bags they are. We'll break down that later on too in another episode. Shooting from the wood line, using trees, using everything. So, and we're just going to kind of go through a little bit and explain some positional shooting and how to do it effectively, how to get behind the rifle and make effective hits in that 300-yard plus is what we're talking about. We're not talking about positional shooting. If I'm burning down targets at 25, 50 yards, 100 yards, it's a little different. We're talking 300 yards plus.
So I mean, we'll start off with like the prone position, I guess. Like that's something that you want to consider is points of contact, right? So like, I know that you've mentioned that a lot, especially from a long range shooting perspective. Points of contact is super important. So what I mean by points of contact is, you know, when you're standing, your feet, you have 2 points of contact, your left foot and your right foot, okay? So it's just some sort of way to stabilize your gun. So if I put a point of contact here, my mag is actually contacting the ground, all right? I can add additional points of contact by having this in my shoulder, by having my hand on the...
supported underneath it, supported on top, whatever floats your boat. Get down there and get behind it.
So right now I've got my shoulder as a good point of contact. I've got the mag pushed on the ground. Have you heard that myth about the whole, like, if you put pressure on the mag, it'll jam?
Yeah, multiple times.
That's not true. All right. So
if you have an out of spec gun, maybe, I don't know.
Maybe, if it's out of spec.
If you got an out of spec gun, but if you guys got quality stuff, have your gunsmiths check them out. If you don't have one, but I don't run into that issue. Neither does Eric.
So this is one of my positions. I usually like to make sure that my body is in line.
Get it offline real quick.
So
we see a lot of this right here. This is one of the things we see a lot. Anytime we're doing like a rifle 101 class, and we always start out zeroing, we talk about position, and everyone jumps down into this offset position. It's kind of like when you'll see the typical rifleman shooting position like this.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to rotate their body.
The weaver.
The weaver, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
They do that exact same thing when they go prone. So we're gonna correct his body and get it behind the rifle. So we can get more of the rifle recoiling directly straight back versus everything torquing his entire body around. So
the other thing I'm gonna do is I've got my feet flat on the ground. So I'm gonna lay them flat on the ground versus up like this on my toes, and I can have some movement in my legs, which can throw my shot. So especially over distance, a small amount of movement makes a lot of difference, especially when you're shooting farther targets. So I'll lay my feet flat on the ground to kind of give myself a lot more stability, a lot more surface contact with the earth. But yeah, I'm gonna throw some
yeah, let's throw some ears on real quick, and then we'll start just prone off of Eric running supported with his points of contact, no bags or anything like that. Let's throw some ears on here.
All right, I'm gonna go for.
We're gonna start at 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna start at the 300-yard target. The Bobcat, the target just right of the Bobcat.
Okay, go ahead.
Didn't press check, and I just threw a round out.
Yep, don't worry. Okay, send another one. Okay, we got an impact there. Okay, go with another.
Any of see where it's at?
I did not. Let me get behind some glass real quick. So, just right of the Bobcat.
Yep.
All right.
The other thing I need to do is check and make sure that I'm not dialed. So sometimes that I will dial something from before, I forget sometimes to dial back to 0. So I just want to make sure that I'm dialed back down to 0. All right, I'm ready.
So we're going 300 right of the Bobcat.
Yep.
All right, go ahead, send it. Yeah, impact.
Where was that at on the target?
So you were high right.
Okay, so high and right.
Yeah, high right.
Okay. I'm gonna try one more shot just to replicate, make sure it's not a fluke.
Yep. Okay, impact. That was more center.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So that was more of a center line hit. That could be a lot of things. That could be trigger press. That could be, he's also stabilizing just off of a magazine right now.
Yeah.
But he does have point of contact in his shoulder here, off the magazine, and then supported up here, which also is creating, if you guys can see over here on this particular side, he's creating another point of contact with his elbow into the ground, into the earth. So, and pretty basic. I mean, obviously, guys, this is stuff that a lot of you have done. We're not trying to dumb this down, but we get a lot of these questions, like how do I get a tighter zero? How do I zero my rifle? How do I shoot at distance?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, the other thing I like to do is I almost lay on top of my stock with my pec. So my left pec, I'm almost like laying on top of that stock to try and bury that stock into my shoulder or into my body to absorb that shot. I'm not too worried about.
And this stock is not over here in this particular, like this crevice as far as like in a pocket.
It's not over here.
He's more in center line. Right here, getting directly up underneath his neck, straight down into his back.
Yeah.
So.
And so what I'm looking to do is I'm not too concerned about the initial shot as I am about being able to get my next shot quickly. So if I fire that first shot and it doesn't recoil that much, then I'm able to get the sights on for the second shot a lot faster. They call it a follow-up shot. So a faster follow-up shot if I've got good stability. Yeah.
What ammo are you shooting today?
MagTech 55 grade.
MagTech 55? Okay.
Yeah,
and that's what you're 0 to, right?
I'm 0 for that.
So
but
nothing fancy. I'm shooting nothing fancy either,
yeah.
So we got 62 grain.
Yeah.
I'm 0 to 850, or SS 109, 855 is what I'm 0 to. From the prone position, if you have it available,
run a bag.
Run a bag. If you, first office, guys.
Sweaty.
Sweaty. If you're rucking and you're moving around and you got your GPR rifle, you're gonna have a bag with you.
Yeah.
Right. It's a pretty common thing. You guys probably got a lot of truck bags. Got I don't know how many bags I got. I got a lot of them. So I always have one with me. So use it, utilize it. So you want to give us a prone off the back real quick?
Yeah.
So.
You go ahead. I already went.
There we go. All right. So we'll have to change positions here. So.
Jason,
I don't want to shoot the camera. So.
Why not?
Because that camera costs a lot of money.
That's right. Okay. All right.
So, don't shoot my camera. Tyler in the background over there says don't shoot the camera. So. We won't shoot his camera. I don't want to shoot mine either.
Go for the swinger at 500.
So
All
we're
right.
gonna do the exact same thing. I'm just gonna utilize my bag now, which is gonna give me an additional point of contact, okay? It's also gonna give me a longer point of contact versus just the base of my magazine here.
I'll spot you as well for 500.
Okay.
You're going 500?
So we'll go 500. So let's see if I can remember what my dope is with the 12 and a half. At 500. So, all right, so we're gonna go 500.
Go for big swinger.
For me, I'm creating this point of contact right here on the bag. The magazine, which you guys can't see, is also slightly touching the ground, but I have this bag buried all the way up into my mag well. Getting directly behind the rifle, doing exactly what Eric was talking about, into my pec, and then I'm coming down behind my glass. I'm actually gonna use my hand on the bag here, and elbows down into the earth, elbows down into the earth.
Now, what if you're like bag? Can you rotate your bag
Yeah,
to be able to
most
get
definitely.
it to a higher point?
Higher point. If my mag was sitting in a position right now where it was kind of free floating, so if I was like up here, free floating because my mag's touching the ground, I'm gonna rotate my bag around.
Yeah.
Okay. Use different positions on your bag. So, okay, play around with it.
Are you gonna go for the big swinger?
The big swinger's blocked, so I'm gonna go small swinger. So let's test my skill set.
Actually, go for the. Can you see yellow target?
I got yellow target. Yeah.
All right, I got that.
I got
'cause
yellow
can't see
target
small.
on the right hand side.
Yeah, go.
Okay. Okay.
Off the right edge, yeah. Low right. You are half mil low and a half mil right.
Right off
Half
the-
mil right. Go down elevation. Impact.
Impact. Yep.
Barrel. Impact.
Okay, so really wasn't a stable position. I mean, it was a stable position. It wasn't my position as far as my first misses there. A, I forgot what my dope was,
Yeah.
so I had to remember that. The other thing is wind, reading wind at 500. Okay, so I sent my first round. Because of my position being stable, I was able to get my wind call.
Yeah.
I was able to see my splash.
Right.
So that's why positional shooting is very, very important versus getting offset. If I'm offset now, maybe the camera will pick it up. I'm gonna send one, see if we get some kind of recoil that the rifle jumps around a lot on me.
Okay.
It's gonna be more difficult for me to pick up my round here. So I'm gonna go ahead and send one.
Send it.
Okay, so you guys can't see it, but for me, behind the glass, when I shot that, my rifle recoiled up and to the right.
Yeah.
Okay, path of least resistance. Same exact thing when you're shooting a pistol and you don't have a proper grip, or you're standing shooting and you don't have a proper position behind the rifle.
Yeah.
It comes in the exact same thing. Path of least resistance, because my body's offset, my rifle recoiled up and to the right. I was unable to track my round. Okay, I didn't have a clue where it went.
The other thing also is, like, if you have good stability, you've got your body positions nice, you understand your winds, you also have to be honest with yourself and be able to call your shots.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I threw that one. Like,
Yep.
if you're not honest with yourself, with your own, like, hey, whether you did everything right or whether you did something like, hey, maybe I was a little bit too harsh on that trigger, slapped the trigger, maybe I pulled it. You have to be honest with yourself to be able to give yourself good feedback, because you're giving feedback to yourself to make up for that shot. So if you're not honest with yourself, you're going to be chasing that round.
Yep, let's see if I got it in here.
Chasing those misses.
Chasing those misses. Let's move this out of the way real quick. All right, so fill some air here, Eric.
What you got?
I don't know. Let's see what I got in my bag here, guys. I normally have with me. I may not have it. So okay, so that's a waste of time.
What are you looking for?
I don't have what I'm looking for. So I normally carry actually a small, very, very small rear support bag.
Oh.
And I must have took it out and used it for something.
We actually got that ammo bag. So that's actually a burrito bag from Wiseman.
Yeah, burrito bag from Wiseman. It's got ammo in it. But I normally have something that's actually slightly a little smaller than this, that once again, I can get this as another point of contact supporting underneath the rear of my stock, okay? So if you guys carry a small bag with you or something like that.
Show it like this.
Yeah.
So have it that way, and then you have the rifle point that way.
Okay, yeah, there we go, perfect.
So you can have like this. So I can change I could squeeze this.
And change your elevation.
See that? So if you see someone, they put their hand underneath, they'll squeeze. You can also use your fist too. I've seen people that will use their fist. I've even used my hand on the bottom and I'll raise it slightly. So I can use this to change my elevation while I have a rest on the bag. Or if I'm shooting bipod, now I can have, if I have a bipod on this, like I have a pick rail section on my rifle just so I could quick attach a bipod, and now I can use my bag as a rear bag, and that can go, this part can go up under here. All it does is it adds another point of contact to the rear portion of the rifle.
Yep. So if you have an extra bag with you that you can create that point of contact, go ahead and do so.
Yeah.
Prone position, biggest key, obviously typically your normal fundamental skills, your trigger press, like Eric was saying a minute ago.
Yeah.
Be honest with yourself whether you're yanking that trigger or not. And then the other thing would be is getting directly behind the rifle and allowing the rifle almost a free recoil.
Yeah.
We don't need to bear down into this in this particular position. The rifle just needs to do a straight back recoil, let it settle back in where it's at. That'll give you that opportunity to track that round behind your glass and identify where you're hitting or missing, and where you're hitting out on a target. So I was calling Eric's shots earlier, whether it was high on a target, low on a target. If you can do that yourself and you have that availability to, definitely.
Now, wait, would it be different? So when we're talking about bearing down the gun, getting as much weight on the gun as possible, with a bolt gun, over further distances, you kind of want less contact.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right.
Yeah, we want to allow that rifle to almost just to recoil very lightly.
Yeah.
We don't need to push a lot of pressure on the rifle. Okay.
Yeah. But for gas guns, for follow-up shots, getting the rifle to recoil directly into you versus that torque, getting your body position. Yeah. I could put some down pressure down on it here. I can put some pressure on my bag. That's perfectly fine. No issues there whatsoever. Yeah.
But I'm not over torquing my body into the gun.
Yeah.
Don't overcompensate for it. Basically is what I mean, if that makes sense. So.
Yeah.
All right. Props. You want to talk about props?
Yeah, sure. So right now I've got a tank trap that I have here, and actually I've got this bag right here. I can honestly just set it in without the bag. I don't necessarily need the bag, but I can actually use Roy's bag here as a rear. I can use Roy's bag for rear support. So right now, if I get behind this, I've got my elbows on my thighs as a point of contact, and it's actually pretty still right now. I've got a point of contact on the right side of the rail and also on the left side of the rail. That's going to kind of help stabilize that rifle. If I want to get a little bit more, I can actually sit this in my lap and have this, my buttstock resting on that bag. Now what this does for me is it's just a little bit more of a comfortable position. So if I'm sitting in a stand or I'm sitting somewhere observing something, what that's going to do for me is it's going to add a little bit more comfort versus laying on my stomach. So if you're laying on the earth is going to suck that heat right out of your body really fast. So you get cold. So just kind of nice sitting down, being able to look through the glass in a sitting position, and it's going to give me I can also make shots from here. So I'll do 500.
The other thing about a seated position is we're in Florida, so we ain't got a lot of elevation.
Yeah.
But if I'm in a prone position, sometimes if I'm not elevated enough, the grade of the land, I may be too low to the ground.
Yeah.
So getting in a position like this, it gets the rifle up a little higher, gives you a little more visibility. So. Right,
the other thing I'm going to do is I'm also going to make sure that my gun is not canted slightly, because that can throw off your
definitely.
shot.
It's going to your whole parallax behind your glass and everything. So
I'm going to go for the big swinger at 500.
Big swinger at 500.
500
okay.
yards. Yeah.
I'm going to go and see if I can see it so I can spot for you. Okay. 500 big swinger.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
I'm going to hold 3.5 mil.
Okay, go ahead, send it.
Wind's blowing from left to right.
Yep, we go left to right. Okay, just high right over top of his head.
Hold 3 mil.
Yep, 3 mil. Yep, impact.
Center.
Yep, that was a center impact. Just over the right edge. Impact again.
One more.
Elevation was great, so that 3 mil hold was perfect. A little bit more from left to right. There you go, solid impact.
So 500. So I got a 3 mil hold for that for 500. Now, okay, here, this is a good caveat. This is for me personally, all right? So Roy and I, he's got a primary arms Griffin optic. I've got the Trijicon Credo 2-10, but what we're talking in, and we talk about this in all these other episodes, is we're talking mils. It's the same English, right?
We're
so
talking
different optics, but same English.
We're communicating in the same English.
So it's the same unit of measure. So what he's doing is he can give me call outs like, hey, I need you to dot, you're 2 mils high, because he can actually measure out where that splash is and give me a correction that's actually pretty precise, and I can make that correction and then make my shot.
And if you guys don't have mils, you can use target size also.
Oh yeah.
As far as
so how would you say this?
As far as a reference point.
Yep.
So we know our particular target size. So for instance, that Eric was just shooting at 500. That was a mini ADAP size, wise goes. So he knows that because that's something that we shoot all the time. So if I give Eric a half target hold, from left to right, he's going to give me that half target basically of what that particular size
use the target as a unit of measure.
As a unit of measurement.
Yeah.
Obviously, mils is going to be a better way of measuring that if you have that ability. We've been messing around with it. That gets into a whole nother episode, so I'm not going to dive down that road yet.
The only thing that I will say about this, and this is wind. So we've got a left to right moving wind. Something that I like to do, especially if I'm shooting for further distance, is I will sometimes dial. So right now, instead of holding on the reticle, I'll dial that. So I got 3 mils for 500 yards. I'll dial that, and then only thing I have to worry about is the wind. I don't have to worry about holding up for elevation
which is really great. Both of these particular reticles, one nice thing about the Griffin mill reticle and then also the reticle that is in the Credo is both of them have that Christmas tree style reticle. So it does give us some wind hold. But there's also, you have the EOTech Voodoo 1-6 that has a mill reticle in it. You have your TMR reticles that are in your Leupold scopes that do not have that Christmas tree. Okay, so you have no man's land that you're holding in. So
dialing is a little bit more.
If you have that ability to dial, go ahead and do so. So if you got time to dial and make that more precise shot, why not, right? You're going to give yourself a more advantage. That gives you, instead of just holding out there in no man's land, that gives you actually a better point of reference as far as for your wind calls on your reticle.
So I just dialed 3 mils. I'm going to make a shot at 500 again. I'll at least get 2 hits. Okay. Can you give me corrections in wind for mils?
Yep.
Give me a wind correction if I miss.
All right, let's go.
So I'm dialed for 3.
Here. Okay, so we still got that left to right wind. Give me a left to right half mil.
Half mil. Shooter ready.
Send it. That's an impact. Okay, same that. We got the same wind, half mil.
Send it.
Impact. Okay, so wind's a whole nother subject.
But I'm just saying.
But
you can use
it. You can learn it very easily. Okay, that's something that getting out here, putting the time in behind your rifle, you can definitely do that. So we're gonna make a little adjustment here. So moving that over a little bit. Perfect. So Eric's obviously got the bag here. Let's do it without the bag. So this is making it too easy for me. So let's get rid of the bag.
So I'll put my elbows on my thighs. So they're pretty thick. Been squatting a little bit more these days.
Yeah, I gotta get back into it.
All right, I'll do the same thing. Half mil hold for wind.
Okay. Let me get that down here. Let's see what we got real quick.
I'm gonna dial again. I just dialed back, so I'm gonna dial.
Let's dial that 3 mils. What we were at, right?
Dialed.
We still got that left or right, and it's probably hanging around that half mil again. So you want to go ahead and send it?
Got it.
Impact. Okay. So our wind's staying pretty consistent right now, so we're not bouncing around a lot. Key is his position here.
I'm sitting Indian style.
And for if you guys can see, maybe not. Move over this way a little bit.
Sure. If I take the rifle out.
So if he takes the rifle out, he is actually supporting. Borrow this real quick. He's actually supporting. Come this way. Sorry.
Grab my knees again.
Grab my knees again. Give me that support. What you were doing with your rear hand here. So I'll be your front support just for a second. See this hand coming in behind him? He's using that to kind of squeeze the stock to adjust himself up and down and creating that additional point of contact that he has right there.
The other thing is I have my elbows in on the meaty portions of my inner thighs. I'm not sticking them on my knees because they can roll. Bone on bone, you roll. You want to have into that meaty, fleshy portion of your legs so that way it doesn't roll around.
So, positional shooting, guys, pretty basic. The stuff that we're going over here, but it's a lot that people take for granted.
Yeah.
They get out here and we see it all the time. They just start slinging rounds, and they're getting frustrated and not knowing why they are not getting hits.
Yeah.
Doing simple things like this, getting directly behind the rifle, using as many points of contact as you possibly can. Having a spotter with you. Me and Eric obviously have an advantage. We shoot together a lot, so we have good communication back and forth. If you guys got somebody that you shoot with in your community, get out there with them, and they can help you with those wind calls. They can help you with your positional shooting, correcting each other. Many times Eric will correct me on something, and vice versa.
Yeah. So I think the other thing also to add on top of what Roy's saying, make sure if you're going to go with mils or whatever you're using, whatever type of unit of measure you're using for your optic, even your glass, like your spotting scopes, your binoculars, whatever you're using, try to make sure they're all the same. It's just going to make life a lot easier, especially with that buying power.
Yep. So, perfect.
All right. Hey, thanks again for checking out this episode that we have no name for. Please leave or help us come up with some names.
Yes.
Leave it in the comments below. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for your support. Dude, we've got probably the best subscriber base because they're so positive. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and help each other out. If you guys got some comments down there, someone's got a question, jump down there and answer it for them. If you guys like what we're doing and you like this right here and you want to see more of this and you want to see more hatchet casts, jump down in the description down in below. There'll be a link down there that you can click on to help support us.
Merch.
Yeah, merch, different stuff like that. Click it, help us out.
Yep.
So
thanks again, guys. You guys are awesome. As you know, hit that comment below. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. You guys are amazing. And we'll see you on the next one.